Hello everyone, this is Venus Brown, back with another episode of Three Body Problem. This is episode 6, The Stars, Our Destination. I feel like we said enough the last episode, so I'm going to just get started with this episode. We did order food because this has been a long period of time and we do need to eat, so I hope that's not a problem. I will be eating while I'm watching. Anyway, let's start the show.
In the wake of the so-called Eye in the Sky event.
Millions of people have taken to the streets after the revelation that an...
It looks like it's coming from the boys, or Gen V.
This present crisis, as we have...
Wouldn't it be interesting if their answer is to come to Earth to save their civilization, and we decide to leave Earth to save our own civilization? I mean, not that interesting. That would be probably standard of procedure if they can get things working enough with their physics and science not working properly.
The Santi arrival, the crisis appears far from over.
Thought an old friend might cheer you up.
Give her a haircut.
A lot of your followers, you led them straight to hell.
That looked like a small nod.
Why did Vera have to die?
I think her last comment was she was too weak.
Tell me why!
On the stage where my father was killed, there was a poster. I saw it all over Beijing that year. A man with a hammer smashing the Buddha, Jesus, and a rock and roll record. The slogan said, "Destroy the old world, forge the new world." It's the only thing I ever agreed with the Red Guards about.
You really think they're still trying to save us?
Yeah, didn't they tell you
No.
that they wouldn't be trying to save you in the
Right.
first place?
We're too dangerous to coexist with.
You know, Vera always said you were a great physicist, but that's not how you'll be remembered. You're a traitor.
How will you be remembered?
Not being a traitor.
I'm someone who fought back.
Yep. I get where she was coming from when she did it, but at some point, you gotta get past that stuff.
Yeah. It almost feels
Or
like
drowned in the devastation of it.
It almost feels like she sort of brainwashed herself into forgetting the whole.
From now on, the real work of defending humanity will happen here, far from urban rioting, alien worshippers and
Yeah,
Nobel
that
laureates
first
and jealous
message was
fucks that
very
think they should
blatant,
be.
and her
You're gonna be
response
here
was
for a
very
while.
blatant.
Despite what a
So at some
depressingly large
point
number of
between
Neanderthals
then
seem to
and
believe,
Now
Santi
she came
are
to
real.
believe that it was
and they have
different
declared war
somehow.
on us.
The things they can do.
The things they
far-
can't do. They can't lie. We've only got 2 sulfons. They told us so themselves.
Only 2 omniscient supercomputers the size of protons.
Advanced research has been sabotaged. How do you propose we catch up?
We keep developing the technology we have, and in the meantime, we need to learn more about the way they do things. We're going to launch a
Could you
probe
try
to
to
intercept
use
the enemy
the
fleet.
knowledge that we had
They sent
on the
sulfons to
science
Earth to
that
learn
doesn't
about us.
work
We need to
anymore
do the same to them.
to try to
Are the
advance
ships the size of
using
cities
that,
or thimbles?
knowing
Or
that
we
it
can know
was
the enemy to
correct?
fight the-
Perhaps in 100 years, 1% light speed might be achievable. But if you want to launch a reconnaissance probe immediately, it's simply impossible.
It's not impossible. They did it. Why can't we?
We are not them.
This is true.
No, you're not.
But their points about us advancing much
I hear you plan
faster.
on fighting back. So can't be everywhere. I've ordered every particle accelerator on the planet to start up again, 24/7.
Start advanced technology.
There's 2.
Move
All right,
people
let's say
from
you
there
align the
to
schedules
another
and have
place
experiments on
and
opposite sides of the
create
globe
more.
happen at regular intervals.
Better yet, build one on the moon.
That still leaves the other one to paint countdowns on people's eyes and drive them mad.
Focusing on a single target would keep the other Sophon going constantly. That's a huge cost for the Santi.
There you go. You're working for me already. Find me a way to get a probe to 1% light speed or faster utilizing existing technology.
They can't lie, nor do they understand the lying.
No, I'm good.
You can use that just to try to do shit under their nose. It still feels very unlikely. they would go that long without knowing
every
that we
now and then my body
lie,
actually feels
not
pretty
understanding that,
good. And I
and
can just concentrate on
what
the
they
sheer
have
fucking terror
been
of it
doing
all.
seems deceitful in the first place.
I've sort of taken to picturing myself up there when it's all over.
Isn't necessarily the same as lying, but it is
Here's what I needed
in
to
the
do.
same family.
After I'm gone, you buy yourself a wood chip. Put me in, turn me into a fine mist rising into the ozone.
But I don't think a wood chipper would aerosolize your
Oh,
body.
don't be a
into-
smart ass. Right, this is my last will and testament. Have some goddamn respect.
So a ship.
The English really suck at beaches.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw that episode on Heartstopper of Nick taking his boyfriend to the beach. And I was just like, not what I think of when I think of the beach, all this rocks everywhere. But there are beaches like that some places.
During the Ming Dynasty,
And even in America, there's
the
plenty of
result was
beaches
a
where they're
medieval
not
weapon that
tended
caused
to.
20th century damage.
And
So
they're
there is
dirt
already
and
a
rock
precedent
and
for
all
achieving
kinds of-
advanced results using
Right.
current materials.
Just assuming sand isn't necessarily accurate.
Now,
The blast of a ship like that would make it almost impossible to launch anyway.
The bombs won't be on the probe. The probe itself would have very little mass, making it far easier to accelerate. I'm borrowing an old idea from Stanislav Ulam in the 1940s called nuclear pulse propulsion, propelled by a radiation sail. As the probe passes the first bomb, it detonates, accelerating it towards the second, which detonates, accelerating it again and again. Explosion. The compounding rate of acceleration will mean that we can reach 1.12% light speed after 1,000 explosions.
Totally untested, with zero margin
And
for
it
error.
would surely violate more than a few nuclear treaties.
Not to mention the cost.
Treaties can be amended. Our job is to come up with a solution to a scientific problem. It's someone else's job to come up with the money, and there's no version of this that doesn't require a lot of money, but it's not impossible.
We've got 400 years, Mr. Wade. What's a few decades?
I think it's worth pursuing. The closer we get to them, the more we'll know about them. I have no intention of dying with my agency having accomplished fuck all.
Yep. We've entertained policies that were far from ready way before they were ever ready, that had to be redone and redone and redone until they eventually worked.
Yeah, if you're really a scientist, the only possible ever.
Aliens will be here for 400 years. It's a long time to hoard digestive biscuits.
Stars, our destination, is attracting the attention of the world's wealthiest individuals. Ownership rights over stars in the galaxy.
I don't get it. Just they're doing something.
We should be using that money to help people right now.
Story though, isn't it? Well, it's much more exciting to imagine a future war of the worlds than it is to muck around with our current problems. Chance I could pre-order 5 bottles of your next shipment of really good whiskey. Come into a bit of money.
It's unavailable till the new year. Can you wait?
I will be unavailable then as well.
I thought that. Open the window, would you? It's stuffy in here.
The test.
I have to say, sir, I know this one. It's sealed shut, and you asked me to open it to see how I respond to an impossible task.
Do you find some other way to open it than what
2
was
minutes.
immediately obvious?
Yes, sir. I thought I comported myself well in Panama. Should be on your space fleet team, and not doing office admin or trying to open your goddamn windows.
How long have you known about it?
2 weeks.
Then you're 2 weeks late coming to me.
Put me on the space fleet team.
Done?
Thank you, sir.
You'll love it on Mare Imbrium.
On the moon.
Lower gravity, larger ships. We'll get you your commendations if you survive.
I still don't think he's looking for commendations. Whatever. He wants to be properly used on something that he thinks is important.
Oh, thank God.
Some of us don't actually care that much if we're accommodated for it.
How is he?
Or given accommodations. Given commendations
Glad you're done
for it.
ghosting me.
You were.
Raj didn't tell you?
Raj. When you're too lazy to look at the ocean.
Can't believe you're working for that fascist fuck again.
I think he's trying. Just more than most people can say.
He's a murderer. Do you know your boyfriend at all?
Okay, you're scaring me.
You should ask him.
I will. But the Santi are real. And I have to do something.
They're 400 years away.
But she is trying to do something about it.
What are you even working on with that piece of shit?
I need a radiation sail. About 5 square kilometers in area, but with a mass of less than 50 kilograms.
No.
Everything depends on this nano sail, and there's no one who can design it besides you.
I said no. Last time we gave the best physicists in the world insane resources, they gave us Hiroshima.
No, I'm not designing a weapon.
That's what most of them thought. Until they were...
You got a 1 kilogram nuclear bomb going for it.
You're up early?
Oh, not what education advice. It could be.
Right, I mean, that's what she's saying, is that you take anything that is created innocently, that's for advanced technology and stuff like that, put it in the wrong hands and they turn it into something worse. And even if you think it's not the wrong hands, they still tend to, we want more, we want bigger power, we want to annihilate these people, aliens, creatures, whatever. We'll justify it by saying they mean to harm us. They're not us.
You go and save the world, and I will be just fine right here.
Imagine this one's you, and this one's me.
Imagine if they immediately sink.
I would have thought they would have ended up going in completely different directions.
I'm pretty sure that the small waves would have made them sink, like immediately.
Well, I don't know about immediately,
Well,
but
not
pretty
immediately,
quickly.
but pretty quickly.
Once they get soaked, they're done. Although if the paper has like a wax lining, then
Same as always. Nice to see
We'll go
you.
for a
See you
while.
soon. Thanks for coming. Come back anytime.
Christ almighty, man. You'd think that dying of all things would make you open up for a change.
It was a nice, no drama goodbye. Why ruin it?
Man, I've never seen anyone love someone like you love her, and you're just gonna take that to the grave.
Woodchipper, don't forget. Awkward and unfair to Jin because she obviously doesn't feel the same way.
Maybe she does. How do you know that?
What is Will gonna do?
Will is not doing anything. He wants to send a dying man to London to pour his heart out to a girl.
Yes. You should absolutely do that.
She has a boyfriend.
Fuck him.
She doesn't like him.
I don't blame her.
And he's gonna be on the moon away from her anyway. She doesn't know yet. He's on the train.
Imagine if he died on the train.
You want to ride on one of those trains again?
I don't really care.
At the time, you guys didn't want to ride on the train again.
I mean, if it was like a bunch of them, then no. If it was just one.
What, for a whole day?
I mean, I've done car rides.
classified
Rules I have to follow.
I've had the same clearance as you for a week now. How could you not be bothered when 1,000 people were killed?
They crippled our research so the Santee can murder the rest of us more easily.
What bothers me is that you seem so comfortable with the result.
You think Augie's innocent? Her nanofibers did all the cutting.
And she's fucking gutted about it. She's been drinking herself to sleep every night.
But we're fighting the same war.
Hurry up. All right. Thought she was short through this, but
Breathe.
Why would there be a toilet right by the window?
It's okay. It's okay.
I would not have my arm there. I'm like, she might try to throw up. And then I would get my arm covered in throw up. And I'm like
Yeah,
covering
when
her
you're
jaw.
trying to take care of somebody like that,
you're like, oh, wash off.
yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, but
You know you're gonna be a mess and you're gonna have to
sorry.
clean up.
But again,
I could have said something sooner.
she was like
I should've.
holding his arm here, so her jaw wouldn't be able to as well.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't be working for
How
Wade.
many times I had to hold your butt while you were...
It's your work.
Hey, I didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah, okay.
You guys do that.
And all that way to turn around and leave.
What's he expect to happen? He's dying.
Yeah.
That's what he told them, and they were like, do it.
Reading. You don't matter. I don't matter. Why not tell us the truth? Why did she jump?
I got careless in my messages to Evans. She read everything.
What did she say to you?
She didn't even leave a note. I still haven't been charged. No more visits. No more questions. I'm done.
She's free to go wherever she likes, but I want a full report of her movements every 4 hours.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, you're just saying.
I'm saying
Okay.
I don't think they want to give out the information on how she was involved.
I'm
At
just
least
saying
not
it
all
looks
of
good.
it.
Oh,
And top that off, proving some of the stuff is just, it's too easy to get
Beautiful.
cases lost in court for trivial
board.
shit.
They have to clear it out there that she was the start of it. It's her murder followers.
okay,
That too.
I'll take it. I like it boring.
Be the bad girl in Speed 3.
Speed 3?
Yeah,
really?
I think
Fuck
so.
you. That's me. And that.
Mortifying trek to London wasn't a total waste.
I realised something.
She doesn't need me to go and spill my guts to.
What she came all the way down here for is you.
If I had your knowledge, or an ounce of your talent, I would give it to her on the spot.
But I don't.
You don't know the man she's working for.
And you were
I
working
know that she
for
wouldn't
him
do
before
anything
her.
if it wasn't right.
It's for the greater good, isn't it?
Pretty much exactly what she
No.
said.
The probe doesn't have any way to decelerate. They'll destroy it.
That won't be a problem either. They'll pick it up.
We're sending a human being.
Dr. Chung, have you relocated?
I think of one of the characters on Resident Evil, the game.
I'm an old woman whose old beliefs have led us down this terrible path. But I still have an idea or two left in me. Centuries from now, there may well be a fair fight, or no fight at all.
Probably. Are you high again?
I mean, I would expect him to usually be high. I mean, even like whether it's medical or not, I would expect it.
Yep.
He has major cancer.
Right. Gotta get through this somehow.
It's you, it's all for you. Everything I do, tell you all the time. Heaven is a place on earth with you.
I have an appointment for William Downing.
Do you know much about Stars Our Destination? We could begin with the interactive presentation.
No, that won't be necessary. I've already made up my mind. I'm here to buy a star.
It's you, it's all for you. Everything
I don't care what you do with your money. You're not going to be alive very long.
Right.
Might as well. I mean, I would probably put it into something more important, but
I don't know, that episode felt kind of slow, like it dragged a lot.
Leading up to the next one.
Right. You gotta build things, and sometimes that building takes a while, and you know, let things sink in, I guess.
I wasn't thinking they would be sending a person. I was thinking they would be sending a bomb.
yeah, once she had mentioned how they didn't have a way to slow it down, I was like, oh yeah, that would make a lot more sense for it to be a bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they send a bomb, they said they have a few hundred years, it's still going to be a long time before they get any of their ships close enough to friggin' bomb them.
Yeah, if they're sending a whole bunch of nuclear warheads, blow up.
And since they said that they're both gonna be going at roughly the same speed in different directions, we could get there in like 200 years.
I would think so.
So his idea is they get their ship up there and they just pick it up.
Well, they may have a way of slowing it down if they know what it is.
But like, how are they going to put a person on there for 200 years?
Freeze them.
But do they know how to do that? Are they going to...
Do you not know how to freeze somebody? You can't revive them, but we can freeze them.
Are they going to hope that they can freeze them and then just let the aliens unfreeze them?
That's what maybe they could be thinking. I don't know.
It just seems like a weird idea that has way too many ways of failing.
I don't understand yet.
Right. My biggest concern is that he seems to be in control of the whole thing, and he could easily have completely different plans than anybody else and not be telling anybody what the actual plans are.
It could be the lie. We're sending a body. They're going to pick it up. They think it's a body, but it's actually a bomb.
Right.
lot.
Each person that's working with him thinks something, and like nobody that's actually working on him knows what's actually going on. That was
Don't know.
so fucking risky.
You watch the About and
Yes.
They learn the truth about us. We're too dangerous to coexist with.
we are. Yeah. We can't even coexist with each other.
Mass panic continues worldwide in the wake of the so-called Eye in the Sky event.
I mean, not that they're any better. Their first
So we
answer
were
was
kind of struggling to figure out how to open the
respond
episode.
to us, we're going to
and
destroy your
we ultimately
planet.
asked Anna, our editor of this episode, we want a new opening. We're thinking maybe some kind of like montage of like from around the world events. Like, do you have any ideas? Gave her like a very vague set of notes, and she said, okay, let me work on it. And a few days later came back with this incredible montage.
Urging people to be calm but vigilant.
Yeah, it was an amazing proof of concept. She also did a lot of the voices of newscasters in it, and we wound up using her voice for some of it because it sounded better than some of the professional voice actors.
Mandatory curfews are in place in major urban areas across the U.S.
If you can dream up a solution, I want you to come down to Witchwood Manor and present your proposal.
Staircase Project is Jin's idea. When Wade comes to her and asks, is there a way to, in our lifetime, launch a ship that will ultimately reach 1% light speed, which is the speed that the Santi fleet is coming? And all the scientists he's grilled on this so far have been highly pessimistic.
If you want to launch a reconnaissance probe immediately, it's simply impossible.
He's incredibly confident that this war that's going to take place will be achieved in our favor. And his philosophy is very simple. It's extraordinary. He says if the enemy can do what they're able to do, then we should be able to do it too, because then it's not impossible. The Santi are real, and they have declared war on us. I plan on fighting back.
Thomas Wade is an enigma and someone who's kind of morally obscure. He is almost like this dark figure that you're not sure is a good guy or a bad guy. However, in a battle of wits, they are really a good match for each other. And so I think, despite the fact that she kind of hates him, there's also this weird, playful relationship that they form. And they do end up having to work together to figure things out.
So Jin comes up with an idea that would allow us to kind of leapfrog some of that and skip ahead by taking an idea from the past, from Stanislaw Ulam, I believe, originally.
It's a very creative notion, but it's totally untested, not to mention the cost. Trillions?
Stars Our Destination. is attracting the attention of the world's wealthiest individuals.
It's a fundraiser for the war effort. Bank sales for billionaires.
The Stars Our Destination is a great science fiction book by Alfred Bester that has nothing to do with the project in the show, but it was a fun shout out. The war effort is going to be long and hard and multi-generational, and as with any war effort, it's going to be immensely expensive.
The richest men and women have acquired ownership rights over stars.
And it seems like sort of a silly thing at the beginning. It's like, selling stars. How many people are going to buy one? And it's an enormous amount of money and seems like a complete waste of resources.
Imagine this one's you, and this one's me.
Jin's relationship with Will is critical, and so we asked our various Jin contenders to read with Alex Sharp, and I remember talking to Alex after this had been done.
And we said, what do you think? And he said, well, for me, it's always been Jess.
And when you watch them now performing on screen, it's like, well, of course, it had to be these two. They're so good together.
Thanks for dinner, guys.
Jin and Augie have a confrontation at the beach house.
Can't believe you're working for that fascist fuck again.
I know how he comes across, but he's trying, just more than most people can say.
He's a murderer.
In watching that scene and writing it for those actors, I think it's always fun when you have an argument where you can understand both sides, where you understand why Jin wants to fight back against these aliens who are coming to invade our planet. And from Augie's point of view, they're not going to be here for 400 years. Everyone you know and love, their kids, their grandkids, their great-grandkids will be gone by that point. I'm not going to be complicit in the slaughter of any more humans. And as Augie points out,
Last time we gave the best physicists in the world insane resources, they gave us Hiroshima.
No, I'm not designing a weapon.
Not yet.
The family that you have is the family you choose, and even when they agree to disagree, it's these common grounds that keeps them going as a family, as a team, and supporting each other, even through really hard stuff.
Augie, she wouldn't have come all the way down here if she didn't need you.
one of the things we love about Alex's portrayal of his character is you really believe that he's an intensely smart individual. You believe that he's a scientist. You also believe that he's kind of considers himself a bit of a failure. And the reason he thinks that this happened is because he just didn't have the brain power to achieve everything he wanted to.
If I had your knowledge, or an ounce of your talent, I would give it to her on the spot. I was really drawn to him because as a character, he has like a level of humility that I think is, one can only really aspire to. Which is perhaps why he doesn't have like such a competitive edge as other people might. But there's a perspective that he has, which is astronomically huge.
You don't know the man she's working for.
I know that she wouldn't do anything if it wasn't right. It's for the greater good, isn't it?
I know you can hear me if you want to.
I think what we established in the first 5 episodes is a woman whose faith in the righteousness of what she's doing is completely unshakable until it gets shaken. And she is enough of a scientist and a rational person to realize that this was a mistake.
I'm an old woman whose old beliefs have led us down this terrible path.
But she has enough of a belief in her own abilities and her own intelligence that there might be some last Hail Mary she can pull off to undo all of the chaos she has wrought.
I don't blame her, and I've said that to Dan and the boys. They've said something like, oh, well, what she did was so bad, and I think her intentions were good. But I still have an idea or two left in me. And centuries from now, there may well be a fair fight. Or no fight at all.
Can you imagine if they stretched the sail out to like the size of a planet? And it was like cutting through all the spaceships.
Sail.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that would work. Sail is like completely solid.
It is. But what if it was stretched out to where it wasn't? What if it was used as a sail? And it was expanded at the very end.
Okay. But I don't think they have the ability to do that.
I have no idea what you mean.
I think he means like having that same sort of thing they have for the boat, where it's like all like nanofibers that will cut through something, but having them so compact together that they can act as a sail, and then they can stretch out to act as a weapon.
Okay. That does make sense. Okay.
And it's like a big cheese grater going through them.
Right. Like a weave.
Yeah.
For most things, like if you...
For the sail part.
Right, if you take a weave for like, what do they call that? Cheesecloth or something like that, and it's going to let water through it, but a lot of times like the cheese will stay there or whatever, whatever you're trying to get
Right, because
liquid out.
Sail.
Right. But then if you took those individual strands and they were super strong and spread them out, then they could actually cut into it instead of just...
Like they did the ship.
Right.
Now it's going 1/10 the speed of light or whatever. It's going fast. 1% speed of light.
So that was episode 6. I will see you next week, because that's all I've got for you. Until next time, I'll see you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.